Wack 100 and Adam 22 speak on Shannon Sharpe's $50 million sexual assault lawsuit.
Shannon Sharpe, he's a freaky frog.
There's nothing wrong with being a freaky frog. You are too.
Yeah, it's true. But I'm luckily not doing it with 19-year-olds for the most part.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with having sex with a 19-year-old.
That's true. But when you're doing it on camera, at least I feel somewhat protected. If you're having freaky BDSM relationships with random 19-year-old OnlyFans girls, that might not necessarily be the best for business.
I think
he stepped down from ESPN.
No, I think that I just said that a couple hours ago. I think that where he went wrong at is he was falling into this. He was dealing with them young girls like that because he always wanted to feel dominant, right? He wanted that dominant role, right?
You don't need to say anything to explain to me why a man would want to fuck a 19-year-old hot OnlyFans girl. This is a human desire.
No, what I'm saying is though, is this, right?
19, little young.
What I'm saying is people got to understand, you could be mid-stroke, and when she says no, if you take 5 more pumps, that's a rape.
It's true.
They even have marital rape. Just because that's your wife don't mean you can do it when you want to do it. With me, the word no is like a fuse box.
It's like a gong going off.
Everything shuts off.
Yeah. No, that's how you have to treat it for sure. But let's keep in mind, it's not like there's video recordings of the average sexual experience. So it's like these lines all get blurred, and it's super easy for a girl to say that.
No, that text message is crazy.
Yeah. Well, but
I told you to wear rubber. I told you not to put it in my, and I told you no several times. And he responds, we'll talk about it later. Mm-hmm. And then the audio of it'll be and I think he was just that they were playing. It'll be a big black dude choking a little white woman. So you put those together and it's starting to look crazy. Put those together with Disney.
Right.
It's starting to look crazy.
Yeah, Disney ain't going for that.
Yeah. And I think with her, where she screwed up at was he offered her $10 million, right?
Crazy. That's way too much.
No, but I'm gonna tell you why. She screwed up. He offered the $10 million because he knew he had this $100 million play coming, right? So what she does is come at him with the $50 million and exposes it. Now that you had exposed it, he ain't gonna get the $100 million to be able to give you the $10 million. Nevertheless, the $50 million. She should have let him close the $100 million deal and then came at him. So you screwed him and screwed yourself.
Right.
He's not going to even have the 10 to give to you now.
She might not have the best business sense given that she's like 20.
She should have let him close the $100 million deal.
But she's tapped in with Busby, who's apparently some sort of goat at these things.
We wasn't a goat with shit. Our goat out-goated his ass.
Well, he failed with
Shout out Jigga.
Yeah.
Right? 444, best album in the world.
But Busby does have a lot of scalps. He's put in a lot of damage.
Yeah, I think they jumped the gun. They should have let him close that deal before exposing these things. At least get paid something up front.
But you know that this is easy ammunition for anybody who looks at the game and says, "Look what they did to R. Kelly. Look what they did to Jay-Z, or what they attempted to do to Jay-Z." I mean, the powers that be that want to basically strike down powerful black men. Shannon Sharpe easily fits into the mold that a lot of people believe.
Tell you, I'm gonna be real. This is I've been like really studying that. The more power you get, the more position you get, the more business you do, the simpler you have to be.
Yeah. A lot of truth to that. That's why all those Diddy
as
sex
that
parties
goes up, you have to dumb yourself down.
And that's why the Diddy party thing, like he gets so successful that his sex parties just keep getting crazier and crazier. Jay-Z had the right mentality. Is like you get way more low key as you become a billionaire.
Jay-Z ass would be. He would Beyonce. If he show up to the damn party, he's showing up to the party with Beyonce.
Yeah.
But ain't nobody gonna say they left with Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? I believe in bringing sand to the beach.
Yeah.
You just gotta have something that's universal sand. Like, you know, some of y'all are stuck with what you stuck with because you've been with her for years and things have changed because she got comfortable. I'm bringing sand to the beach, bro. That's it. You're not going to say no.
And that's why every time it creeps into my mind, like maybe I should have my own OnlyFans and I should just random girls and sell that content. And then I remember that because my wife is there every single time I shoot content, it basically is like a safety blanket that protects me from having to deal with, potential vengeful, insane, psychotic women that might want to accuse me of whatever, because I've got Lena there as a hall monitor and someone who can basically like be there to say, no, this didn't happen. And as well as like the other employees, the filmer, etc. But there's just too much risk associated with it when you're just fucking random women, and especially like her. She's got no skin in the game. She's not famous. You're such an easy come up for someone like Shannon Sharpe. But did you see that he, I guess, paid off some sum of like a couple $100,000 to a ESPN employee or cameraman that he choked out at one point? So it sounds to me like he's into this BDSM. My concern, but that's not BDSM. If you're just choking a random person on the job. But all I'm saying, he choked on the job. I think so. I don't want to fall. I don't want to fall for the Busby propaganda machine that may or may not be in effect here, because this is what they do. They charge you with something, and then they trickle out more and more bad news every day afterwards. A slow drizzle, I believe, until your reputation is in the dirt. I don't want to fall for that, but it does appear that maybe this has been a problem for him for a while. I believe right now, Shannon should just, I gave this advice to Puffy, he didn't take it. Shannon should just step out with his boyfriend and let people know I'm bisexual, but this is who I'm with. And every now and then I experience my wild side. You think he's a zest monster? I definitely think he's bisexual. Why do you think that? Just because his pants fit weird or whatever, that one meme? His mannerisms. His mannerisms, and I think he's bisexual. I mean, and but you're not basing that on anything besides just the fact that I thought I would never say. He looks weird sometimes. I'm gonna say something I thought I would never say. Sure, but I gotta keep it real. I listened to Tasha K the other day. Her take on Shannon. She had a good one, and she broke down how he takes. First, it was the stylist to the basketball games. Now he's taking the cameraman without a camera places. They both got their little boy bags going on, and he made a he's never out with women like that. He's always, he's taking it ain't like he's taking his team, it's like these people, and they seem a little zesty. And he slipped. You got the content, right? Because I got the content. What content? We got the work? I got the work. What? That's a fact. Sex tape. Gay sex tape? You want the work? Sure. Send me the gay sex tape. No. This right here. Oh, ain't no getting out of this. And this is right here. Tasha K. This was good content. I think I kind of became first time I watched her content like this. But this shit is diabolical. Listen, if you've been in a car accident. Hold on, where's it at? This is diabolical, bro. Okay. I know where it's at. Perfect one. Okay.
You may forget some things, but you don't slip up and say things like this. When Uncle say he want to date younger men, they kill me. What they say? What the women? What? Yeah, when I say I want to date younger women, what I said? Oh, when I want to date.
See, this how this works, bro. When I go to talking about soul food, that was what's a Freudian good slip right there. Look, what's good when I go to talking about soul food, right? Because I don't eat like pig feet, chitlins, and hog maws. You said you don't eat meat in general. No, I don't. But even when I was like, I don't eat those things when it comes to the soul food, right? I'm never gonna be like, yo, what's bomb? Chitlins. I'm never gonna say, because my mind doesn't register that. You know what's bomb? Listen. You're weird. I'm just not going to say that by accident, though. You're right. Yeah. You're weird. Well, I was saying it for. But he said He said they're talking about Tracy Ellis, who dates younger men. He said, but when I'm talking about himself, want to date younger men, for your mind to register and say you want to date younger men. That's part of your mental, bro. You're in that lane. I agree with her. I gotta agree with her, bro. I gotta agree with her. We ran the content on the Hunter side, and I'm like, yo, you doing something. I believe he's bi. I don't think he's all the way. I believe he's bi. Well, given how these things normally go. I think for every 7 women he's with, he got 3 dudes. Oh, that's a pretty solid ratio, though. I don't know nothing about that. That's not even really gay. Solid. I mean, I don't know what you talking about. If you're fucking women 70% of the time, that's not gay. No, any acts with man on man is gay. Okay, fine. All right, I agree with that. Yeah. Yo, what are you gonna do, bro, when your little one gets big enough to go to a school and in a classroom where the other little crazy little kids understand where her dad's on YouTube saying this kind of shit?
She gonna have to stand on business.
Oh, we might be employed.
Shannon Sharpe going down. Shannon is guilty. You know what I mean? The weirdest thing about this whole thing, bro, Shannon got daughters that's older than 19, bro. How can you be, see, this one, it gets sticky, bro. How can you be 54 years old messing with a 19-year-old and you got a daughter that's about 23? That's creepy, bro. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. That's when age matters. Age is not a number. If you got kids older than a woman, you're screwing, bro. Let's just be honest. But the audio, the video, all that shit is damaging. And despite them telling Shannon Sharpe to leave them young girls alone, the man say he want to date his wage, not his age. So you go for 19-year-old OnlyFans. Look, Gabrielle Zuniga might have had sex with this man 100 times. We don't know. But the thing is, bro, you could tell how he was talking to her. She was scared. It's a big black man, right? Big ass black man with a small, like he said, big black man chokes lily white woman. That came from Shannon Sharpe mouth. You know what I mean? Look, bro, the big black man was scaring the white woman out that vagina, bro. And that's the worst thing ever. You know what I mean? Real shit. On top of that, choking her, sodomizing her. Look, bro, what are y'all doing, dog? That normal sex is not cool to y'all anymore. Like, I've never even thought Shannon Sharpe like pussy. I've never thought, y'all I never thought would even touch no vagina. But to tell me, now you tell me, he's taking it and ramming it from the back like that because he wish it was a guy. That's how gay men act, bro. Banging that coochie up like that, banging that, snapping that dugout up like that doesn't do nothing for your pecker. You know what I mean? It does something for your ego. That man is doing that for ego. He's not fucking for pleasure. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real, bro. That man in for a rude awakening. Because I'm going to tell you like this. If he did Gabrielle Zuniga like that, he didn't just start doing it. He got victims all down the West Coast. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Or East Coast. Well, probably everywhere because he's famous, bro. He's a celebrity. This is what they do. They go get these women and they think they're going to punk them out that pussy. But Gabrielle Zuniga ain't with it. That's why they offered that woman $10 million. She turned it down. She won 50. You know what I mean? That 50 might turn to 100, then Shannon Sharpe go bankrupt. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Look, y'all drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. If they throw it, I'ma catch her to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap. People tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill. It gotta be about business. Big